Okay, there. All right, so this is what we've got. And it ain't pretty, but it ain't horrible. And we've got that edge right there. And I am just going to, now I'm still going to use my little pad. I'm not going to pad with it. I'm going to use it just to protect my fingers because my spider holds have big old fingers hanging down from them. And I do not want you to be referring to me as Stumpy because I don't personally find Stumpy a pretty name, even if it is a good boy's name. Um, but I'm going to spider hold up above it, but keep that kind of out of the way, and you're just going to have to believe me. There's that second flake. I'm coming back down to the tip because there's another one right there. It needs to come up a little bit. And now I've actually got things going kind of the other way. That was that last flake, but this is turned back kind of that way. So I'm actually going to hit that to the back side. Play them like they lie. Okay. Blend that sucker in there. Kind of aggressively. Because I'm a kind of aggressive kind of person. Okay, so there's two more aggressive flakes. Now we're going to check for burrs. I don't know what to do about the burr situation. I really don't. It's annoying to me. I don't like dealing with them all the time. But I like working the kind of rock I like working, and I like doing the kind of work I like doing. And really, I still, which is nothing I want to tell you, is like, you need to go watch Jason Newman or Marty Reeder. Jason Newman's channel is Jason Newman. Not that he's the only Jason Newman. So make sure you get Jason Newman the flintknapper and not Jason Newman the manicurist or something. But Marty is flintknapping tips channel. And again, if you don't think you can learn something about copper work by watching ABBA work, you're wrong, because you can. But the whole thing about it, what I was going to say is, I still think that I know for a fact the point style, the punch style, just this rounded end on it is not the best, is not the most effective at transferring energy, is not the best engagement for platforms, and is not the best in any way except that it's kind of easy to maintain the roundness, and it's kind of easy for me to read the angle, but other than that, okay, this is hard for me to do because it's hard for me to support behind this, and it's kind of hard for me to support in front of this, so I'm actually just going to bridge this one like I usually do. I'm going to put on both sides of it. Dang it. Usually when you hit it and it don't go, you end up with a pretty big burr. That wasn't low enough a platform, and it kicked up a little bit into it. But what I was going to say, I started out using a round engagement point because I've been using continuous platforms and I'm not isolating them, which is not good. I mean, it's fast, but it's not good. And so when the platforms aren't isolated, making them come loose by tearing out the center with a rounded contact, small contact area, makes sense. But it makes the force tend to want to go sideways, so it probably is a little more dangerous. It's just not as effective probably, but I've been lazy and I haven't changed. And I mean, it can work, it does work, I've made it work, but that was a good blender. It went all the way over there. That's well blended. This is the part where I never want to show y'all too much of it just because it's tedious. But this is where the rubber meets the road. I mean, those 3 flakes right there, you know, that saves a lot of pressure flaking, and if you do it right, it can give you big pretty flake scars, and you can end up having points that look all percussion-y instead of all pressure-y, and people start coming up and trying to buy you drinks and bars, and lots of girls named Martha kind of want to start hanging out with you, and I mean, it's just special. And I wish y'all could all go to the nap ins. You need to go to nap ins. I have more fun in 3 or 4 or 5 days at a nap in I do the rest of the year. I don't know if I should admit that, but like, man, I ain't never had water tasted like that before. Shut up and drink some more. I'm kidding. I'll tell you one thing though. First time I ever went to a nap in and eat to me, and somebody asked me if I wanted some Tony's for my crawfish, and I didn't know what Tony's was. Oh man, they all moved away from me on the Group W bench there. But heck, now I can just hang out and not look any stupider than necessary by just not talking much. But really, I mean, you know, it's fun. All right, well, so anyway, I do not really want to be tedious because I've already taken up a lot of y'all's time. But as you can see, we have here a semi-preform that will translate effectively into a lanceolate point with a little care and lack of lunacy, both of which I'm capable of temporarily suspending my normal personality to achieve. When you rake it down, of course you're raising platforms, but doesn't raise all of them. When it's sinuous, you have a differential effect. When you rake down, it doesn't raise the whole edge the same, but it does bring the lowest stuff up some, because that's what you're catching on more. The U's, you don't catch on the humps, you don't catch the arches as well, you catch the U's as well. So then you flip it the other way and try and catch the others, and it brings them back toward the center. So everything's back toward the center line a little more, but not completely. I don't want it completely back to the center line. But if you're using leather support to make them run, you can kind of get away with that if it's not very wide anymore. But so then I've got all these little sharp edges and nubs still. So now I can take a medium abrader and I can abrade at this angle, not straight across, but I can abrade at this angle. And that cuts off all the real low-hanging crap and rounds it up. And then I can do the same thing on the other side. Then I can cross grind to smooth it all. So then what you've ended up with is a over abraded mess that nonetheless will work okay with indirect percussion on a continuous platform, especially if you use a support underneath it and are hitting downward and getting peeling initiations and then redirect the force across. So, though, you still are in a situation, this is opportunistic hitting, you're hitting it to whichever side it's closest to, if it's shaped right. So this is not all for hitting one direction or the other. But if you wanted to work this better, but take a lot longer time, you could come in, you could isolate every single platform, and then they'll let go easier and run further. If you need that. The reason I don't demo that a lot is because I don't want to. Can I do that? Yes. But I already take too long to make points, so I don't want to take even longer. That lipped that edge a little bit. But see, this is why I'm not isolating. I can get that run that far, so what do I need to isolate for if I can do that? The key thing for you to remember is, it's just that there's a bunch of different techniques that you can use to achieve the same results. Okay, so that didn't go, so I know there's a burr there now. When it kicks back on you, that edge is rock, and rock is harder than copper, so if you feel it kick back, it probably didn't go. That ran to there. It split, it ran over here, and it ran to there. It went around this. I'm hitting mainly downward, but I'm not letting the flakes hinge down. That one did the same thing. It split and went around this, and one of them ran to there, and the other one ran over there. And it actually hinged sideways because of when it hit that ridge. Isn't that cool? I mean, you know, show me your ability to do that with direct. I mean, am I saying nobody can? No, I'm not saying that. If there's guys who they could isolate each one of those platforms and hit them, and it would be real nice pattern flaking. But it's so easy with indirect. The only thing that worries me at all about, you know, the things I say about this and showing this is that, you know, there's a vague chance that somebody might find out that I do own stock in an indirect tools company. But other than that, you know, I'm an unbiased user of what is a great technology. No, I'm serious. I'm not being serious. Unless Walmart and Apple have started selling indirect tools. No, I mean I have. Those are not. That's not what I have. I don't. I mainly invest in companies that make and sell corn and things like copper tubing and other stuff that people need to live. Oops. I hate when I braid off camera because I want y'all to enjoy every single second of my braiding. I gotta stop. I'm boring myself. I might come back, I might not. If this cuts to a couple of pictures of something finished, then I didn't come back. If it cuts to me making lame excuses, it means I probably broke the piece. And if it doesn't, if there's no follow-up to this at all, probably that asteroid that's supposed to fly by today didn't miss by as much as people thought. I'll be right back, maybe.